If you ever want to remember where the law of leprosy is, or whatever you call it, I guess it's not the law of leprosy, you can remember it's unlucky 13, Leviticus 13. You could say it's luck, but it's not. It has nothing to do with luck. It has to do with the sin of mankind. I mean, all sickness is due to our sin, and for the choice that Adam and Eve made way back at the beginning. Thanks to them, we get sick, whether it's cancer or I don't know, everything. Anything that's sickness. But leprosy is kind of like an old plague now. I guess you could about call cancer the new name for it. It's the inner part of it. The outer part of it, I guess, has been taken care of. But anyway, here's the deal. God didn't tell him how to make it go away or anything. God told him how to recognize it, which is of itself a very merciful thing. God didn't create leprosy. God allowed leprosy. But God gave him very specific details as to how to recognize it. God didn't allow the devil to rot folks' flesh without giving them very, very specific details as to how to recognize it once again. Do you realize that if the world were, I believe, if the world was following God, everybody was keeping the commandments of God, I mean, we're talking about an entire world of revival, that God would tell us how to recognize cancers that are within. It doesn't necessarily mean that he would give us a cure. But we wouldn't have to go for CAT scans and all the rest, because God would give us those details. I believe that's why this chapter's here. Tell us that if we people are wholly right before God, God will, at least give them an opportunity to recognize it. For nothing else, to make you realize how short your time actually is. Better get on with the work of God. We all know that. We all really at the bottom of it all. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying here. Don't think that I'm going on some sort of lunacy binge here to say, hey, you don't need to go to the doctor anymore. Hey, look, don't put your trust in doctors. You can go there, but don't fully put your trust in them, because their God is mammon in most cases. And so is the dirty, rotten hospital system and nursing home system and all the rest. It's all tied into money, and it's all dirty and corrupt. But it doesn't mean that you don't need to go there and maybe catch a little info if the Lord, puts it your way. And maybe there's, here's an example. I've got diabetes, and I'd seriously be dead right now, I would really believe, if I didn't take insulin. Now, maybe that insulin that they mass produce now, it's got some sort of a flaw in it that's going to bring about some sort of cancer or some sort of, Alzheimer's. I don't care. All I know is it makes me recognize my mortality. And that's why I'm trying to get the word out. Lord, help me to get the word out. We'll be reading Leviticus 14 next.